cancels Federal Executive Council meeting for this week. In business, currency swap deal between Algeria and China to boost the business transactions. And on the foreign scene, Iran hangs man over bus ramming incident that killed three police officers in the country. Hello there, and many thanks for joining us on Superscreen's flagship news, broadcasting to you live from Lagos. I'm Adinke Owoye Ajiboye. Report says the weekly Federal Executive Council FEC meeting for this Wednesday will not hold. The development may not be unconnected to the signing of the 2018 appropriation bill into law, as the budget is expected to be signed on Wednesday. Principal officers of the National Assembly, including the Senate President Bukola Saraki and Speaker House of Representatives Yakubu Dogara, have been invited to witness the signing ceremony at the presidential villa. You will recall that the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, had disclosed last Wednesday that the budget will be signed this week without revealing the exact day and time. The two-day public holiday declared by the federal government has finally come to an end. A trip by Superscreen to Adeniro Ogusoya in Lagos State shows Lagos residents are having fun. A cross-section of respondents who spoke to the crew expressed delight about the holiday, which they described as a long one.
Holiday was nice, although I was not at home relaxing. I was at home editing some videos, and come to think about the economy of the country, even in as much as there is no money, in as much as there is nothing to write home about, it's nothing to write home about, but we still see some people, we still have some people that have quiet time, spending time with their children, relaxing with their family, making sure that they bring out the best from their family. It was fantastic being at home like this couple of these days. Those were one or two things.
I've been able to, as you can see, I'm out here at this at the mall, actually enjoying myself. Nigeria is playing FIFA World Cup, so all that. Yeah, sure. I pray they win, because it has not been going well for the first half, so I'm just praying they win.
I think everybody will be happy, and the school students, everybody, they are not going to school. People that are working on the island, they don't have to struggle, the traffic and everything, and the movement will be easier, so the flow will be much better than it used to be on a Monday, on a regular Monday, so it's cool. The holiday is cool.
On their message to government, they urge Nigerian leaders to be more concerned about meeting the needs of the masses, just as others called for patience on the part of the citizens.
My message to Nigerian leaders is for them to remember the youth and the poor in the society. And we too, we should believe in our leaders. Anything we say is our leader. We ourselves, we are to be blamed pertaining some certain issues. We do not believe in ourselves. For example, we are too tribalistic in this country. It is only this nation that I see that people do not love their own nation. Let us love ourselves. Let us not, in regard of your tribal affiliation, let us forget about tribal differences. Let us take ourselves to be one.
For the leaders doing well, thank you. People know yourselves, and for those not trying, do better. So, and happy Ramadan to everybody, sir. Let's all have fun today. Okay?
The killings in the north has not been going well with most of us here in the west, but our prayer is that God will take absolute control. We hope for a better Nigeria.
Thank you, boss.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now, the founder of the movement for the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra, Masob Ralph Uwazurike, has been sentenced to 1 month in prison for disobeying the order of the court to appear in a case in which he is plaintiff. Presiding Justice Kemakolam Ojiako made the order in the civil case between Uwazurike and Chigozie Iyama and others over a land dispute. Ojako also restrained Wazurike, his agents, privys or servants from entering into the said land pending the determination of the action. The judge adjourned proceedings to July 10, 2018. 31 persons have been killed and 48 others injured in a bomb attack launched on Damboa in Borno State. Borno State Commander Public Relations Officer Okon Edet, who disclosed this to journalists, said the explosion occurred at Abachari area on the outskirts of Damboa local government area. He also said personnel of the Nigeria Police and members of the civilian JTF were mobilized to the scene and discovered 20 dead bodies and 48 injured persons. Edet also said an investigation is ongoing to unravel the nature of the attack, adding that the Commissioner of Police in Borno State, Damian Chiku, has urged the members of the public to continue to be vigilant and watchful. Human rights activist Oche Osadolo has filed an ex parte motion against the former governor of Edo State, Adams Oshiomhole, over alleged financial misappropriation during his tenure as governor. Osadolo called on the Federal High Court in Abuja to compel the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, to commence investigation as soon as possible. Osadolo, who discussed this to journalists in Benin, expressed concerns over the Commission's alleged refusal to address his petitions as enshrined in the act that established EFCC in 2014.
I have a concrete evidence that ex-Governor Adams Oshiomhole mismanaged the fund of Edo State, privatized the state as a personal estate. What do I do as a human rights activist? I brainstormed with my colleagues and we decided that the best thing is for me to go to court as a person. So I now approach the Federal High Court in Abuja to help me by motion, ex parte motion, that the court should rule that EFCC should be seen and should be compelled to do their job as enshrined in the EFCC Act 2004, Section 6B and H, and 13, subsection 2 of the EFCC Act.
Osadolo also accused the former governor of deliberately diverting funds meant for hospitals, as well as abandoning the accident and emergency unit of the Central Hospital project to fund the Edo State University.
On the 15/12/2015, Comrade Adams Oshiomhole approved the award of contract for the construction of 168-room male student hostel complex at the University of Science and Technology, so Ozari, to Measures A&K Construction Limited. So we don't know who is deceiving us. We hear the name is Edo University, but the document here says University of Science and Technology. So which one is the name by law is the only man that can prove that. And that contract was awarded at 1.88 billion, 1,880,483,836 naira 66 kobo. Men and brethren, if you now calculate this amount by 168 rooms, it boils down to 10-point-something million per room. So I've been wondering why the Central Hospital has been under lock and key since it has been commissioned. Have you gone? I don't go there before. Is anybody here who has been treated in the 5-star hospital? Now, we discovered that the money meant for the equipment of the five-star hospital was diverted.
Human rights activist Oche Osadalo speaking there. And now moving on, the All Progressives Congress, APC, appeal committee headed by Imo State Governor Rochas Okorocha has disqualified 19 aspirants. The governor, while addressing journalists during the panel sitting on Saturday, said petitions were received against positions of national organizer, a secretary, national women leader, amongst others. Okorocha said the screening committee report will be used as a major guide in the party's operations, but did not disclose the names of the disqualified aspirants. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, says its guidelines for 2019 presidential primary election is not ready yet and that it did not demand 12 million naira for presidential aspirants to pick their forms. The party disclosed this in a statement signed by the National Organizing Secretary of the party, Austin Akobundu. Akobundu said the clarification became necessary following a publication by a national newspaper. He also said the National Working Committee of the PDP is committed to adhering strictly to the party constitution, and in that the authentic guidelines for PDP presidential primary election will be released as soon as they are considered by the organs of the party. A former governor of Kaduna State, Amir McCarthy, has joined the race to contest the nation's presidency in 2019. McCarthy disclosed this to journalists in Kaduna on Sunday after wide consultations with party men and women, as well as other major stakeholders. He said after the consultations, the result was quite positive and encouraging, and that it is fair enough for him to come out and join other capable party men and women to seek the party's nomination for the 2019 presidential election. According to McCarthy, he is now ready to pick the PDP nomination form ahead of the 2019 presidential election. In the same vein, the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Rivers State has won all the chairmanship seats in the recently concluded local government elections, defeating the other 65 political parties that are contested. Chairman of the Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission, RCEC, Chukwuneye Uriri, while declaring the result of the election, said all the parties which participated in the polls were captured during the election. He also said some political parties, however, had 0 votes. And away from political matters, an appeal has been made to Nigerians who engage in child labor to desist from the act. This appeal was made by a non-governmental organization, Wise Heart Foundation, in commemoration of International Day Against Child Labor. They visited a Mukoko market area of Apapa, Lagos, to create awareness on the dangers of child labor.
We are in this marketplace to talk to perpetrators, people that have children that don't allow these children to attend public schools and use them to generate revenue. We should first of all say no to child labor. Don't send your children to carry things that are bigger than them. Don't use your children to engage in any kind of chores when they are supposed to be studying or playing. Children should play. It is part of their growing nature. Then another thing that we need to look at is the government agencies involved. Sensitization, mixing up with the people, creating child helplines, and then listening ears, creating platforms where people could report. So I could report my neighbor and I could do it covertly. So the government on the one side should be ready to engage, build homes where the children will be taken away and kept in a place where they can be nurtured for the greater Nigeria dream that we all have.
We as individuals and citizens of this country, we need to also raise our voice and speak out against child labor. We also support to sensitize a lot of family. You will see some people here in the city, they will go back there to the village carrying little kids and bringing them to the city here saying, I want to give you a job or I want to give you a contract, only to bring them to turn them to sex slaves, housemaid, thereby making them become so useless. So that's why today we are trying to come in as one voice to speak against child labor, and the government, they have a constitution, just like I said, which they will revert back to and stand on that one in order to make this child labor in the world to stop.
Members of a non-governmental organization, White Heart Foundation, speaking there. And now moving on, the Lagos State government has screened 140 intending private sector waste managers who will soon join the existing PSP operators to evacuate waste and ensure a cleaner metropolis. Special advisor to the governor on the Cleaner Lagos initiative, Adebola Shabi, disclosed this at a stakeholders meeting with community and religious leaders as well as marketsmen and women in Iju, Ifako, Ijayi. Shabi said the state government had carried out a survey which showed that 16,000 commercial premises were in Lagos, while the total number of PSP operators was 350. If you have just joined us, you're watching Superscreen's flagship news. Coming up in business. Currency swap deal between Nigeria and China to boost a business transaction between both countries. Join us for details of these and more after this time out. Welcome back. Now in business world, President of the Association of Bureau, the Change Operatives of Nigeria, Aminu Gwadabe, says the currency swap deal between Nigeria and China will expand BDC's capacity to handle new business transactions in Chinese currency. He said the BBOC-CBN bilateral currency swap agreement will allow the two countries to swap a total of 15 billion renminbi for 720 billion naira or vice versa in the next 3 years. Ogwadabe also said the naira would benefit hugely from the deal given the rise in influence of Chinese yuan in the international markets. The Nigeria Incentive-Based Risk-Sharing System for Agricultural Lending, NERSAL, has identified poor funding as a major factor limiting the performance of the cassava sector from delivering on its full potential of job creation and poverty reduction in Africa. The managing director, NERSAL, Aliyu Abdul Hamid, disclosed this at the 4th International Cassava Conference held in Cotonou, Republic of Benin. Abdul Hamid said cassava has the potential to accelerate Africa's transformation, adding that there is a need for more funds to be deployed in the value chain segment of cassava production. And in the power sector, the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project, SERAP, has sued the Minister of Power, Works and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, over his alleged failure to account for the spending on the privatization of the electricity sector. In a statement signed by SERAP's Deputy Director, Timothy Adewale, said SERAP had asked the minister to provide details of the exact amount of post-privatization spending on generation companies, GENCOs, and to explain if such spending came from budgetary allocations or other sources within a period of 14 days. And that said, in business news, now still ahead on the foreign scene. Iran hangs man over bus ramming incident that killed 3 police officers in the country. Details of these and more coming up shortly.